Welcome back. A Call 6 investigation into how schools use seclusion and restraint on children is prompting a whole lot of reaction here tonight. Parents are telling us they're demanding answers of their own school districts because of what we found out. A new law requires school districts to report every time that they isolate or restrain a student. But Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny found schools misreporting that information, and that's caused a lot of concern now among state lawmakers.
Senator Randy Head authored the bill that's now law. It requires school districts to report every time they put a child in seclusion or use a restraint.
Why was it so important to get this legislation passed in the first place?
Well, it was important because we'd had evidence from other states of terrible things happening, and some in Indiana as well, but students being hurt and in some instances students dying because they were secluded or restrained in the wrong manner.
Call 6 Investigates found some Indiana school districts misreporting how many times they secluded or restrained a child. More than half of districts reported 0 incidents for the entire 2015-2016 school year, something child advocates doubt is really the case.
Is this what you had in mind when you authored this legislation?
The results are not what we had in mind. I think the initial reporting, we expected there'd be some bumps in the road and think that we would need to improve and get better.
Head says all options are on the table for fixing the reporting snafu, including better training for staff and teachers, tweaking the law's language, and sending letters to districts reminding them of their obligation. Right now, there's no punishment for districts who fail to accurately report seclusion and restraint.
If the situation persists, that would be a last resort, but I don't want to go in thinking we have to do something in the law to correct this problem.
This is kind of like Josh's life.
Nicole Hicks' son has autism and was restrained in school. She also serves on the Seclusion and Restraint Commission. Nicole's concerned school staff are calling school resource officers to restrain a child instead of doing it themselves.
A restraint ends up happening, and that doesn't go against the data.
Right now, most school resource officers are not required to report seclusion and restraint incidents to the state, but that could change.
I'd be open to that, but I wouldn't want it to be collected with all the other data. I would want that to be reported separately, because when a police officer has to get involved, it's a different situation.
Kara Kenny reporting there. Kara, thank you. The Commission on Seclusion and Restraint is expected to meet later this month. They are looking into which districts may have misreported that information.